Hi, travelers. Tara here, Hidden Lotus Tarot. I am still kind of on a sabbatical, so to speak, so I won't be resuming the open readings 3 times a week until the third week of June. Also, my classes, I am not going to be able to get those up in June, so I'm looking at the end of July, okay? I was wanting to move. And I went over and took a look at a place the other day, but just something doesn't feel right. And I don't even see a move in the cards. So I'm just going to kind of stick it out where I am for a little while, which kind of sucks because I have a scorpion infestation. And so we had to leave the house the other day while they came in and, did whatever it was that they do for scorpions. So it's just been kind of a crazy time. Today we have the full moon. Today is the 9th. Yeah, the full moon is falling at 19-20 degrees Sagittarius, depending on where you're located. It's a fire moon. I don't know what's worse, fire moons or water moons, but they tend to bring up a lot of emotions. Any of you that are Sagittarian suns, this means that the moon will be sitting in conjunction, which means it's going to be in the same house and the same sign, which will be your first house of self. We'll be sitting next to each other. If you have your Zero Aries chart from the website, we can look at exactly how close that conjunction is. For some of you, it may be 0 degrees. The sun and the moon may be sitting at the same degree. Some of you, it may be a wider degree. But either way, whenever there's a full moon that falls in the sign, in the house that belongs to you, of your zodiac sign is what I'm trying to say. It can bring up an inner conflict and an outer conflict. What's happening in your life versus what you want to happen, or what's happening in your life versus what you don't want to happen. So it can be an extremely emotional time. Try to take a look at whatever comes up for you, because and don't try not to make any decisions if you can help it, because in 2 days time the moon's going to change signs and then you may feel completely different. Now I know that for you Sagittarians, you've had Saturn sitting in your first house on your sun, so I know it's been difficult for a lot of you, where you feel like you can't catch a break. Do know that Saturn will be leaving in December on the 20th, and Jupiter will be coming in about the middle of 2018, and that's your relief valve. So just kind of hang in there. Do what you can to drop whatever things that really you can't. Just decide what's really important and what's not, and only handle what you can. That's all you can do. So we're going to go ahead and get into this open reading. Welcome new subscribers. Thank you new members that have been signing up to the website. Welcome aboard. I am way behind on a lot of things. I have also put up, I didn't realize, I thought I had a support desk on the website, so that if you have any questions concerning readings, or if you are having any technical difficulties, please contact me through the support desk thing there, and I will get back to you. I'm doing all of that myself. I maintain my own website myself. So, this is a general reading, and the messages will not resonate with everyone. Please take what you can and disregard what you cannot. In order to gain any insight into your situation requires a personal reading. For those of you who might be interested in a personal reading by phone, when you get to the website, you go to the tab where it says Readings by Phone. At the very top, when you hover your mouse over Readings by Phone, a secondary menu will pop out. At the very top is a tab that says Important Information on Booking. Please read that before you submit payment and the booking form, because it will explain everything that you need to know about booking a phone reading with me. For those of you who are interested in a video reading, there's a tab for that as well. You just read that and it'll tell you everything that you need to know. My turnaround time is 24 to 72 hours from the time that you submit your payment and your booking form. For those of you who are interested in Akashic Records readings, you can go there and read about it. Please do not submit any money for the Akashic Records reading until you've had the consultation, because I may not be able to read for you. okay? It depends on if the soul will allow me into your records. If they won't allow me in, then I have to refund your money back. So I do request that you first book the consultation, then I can see if I can access your records before you submit any payment. I've had to return people's payments because I'm unable to get into their records. Etheric cord cutting sessions, you can read all about those. I think this will be a good time if you've really been struggling, feeling a lot of heavy weight. Sometimes it's just you have cords and attachments that need to be cut. When you cut a cord, it does not mean that your relationship will end. It cuts whatever negative energy is there, or stifling energy, or weird ass energy, and will allow you to kind of operate independently again. Okay, we don't like codependent things. So I will be bringing you guys, I think, I've been waiting for somebody to give me some feedback on an astrology report. I have not gotten it yet. I think I'm just going to go ahead and start offering those. I will be making announcements. So if you haven't signed up to the newsletter on the website, you can go over and do that. And then that's where I make announcements. And I will have an opportunity this week coming to post up a video in the metaphysical gallery on the Akashic Records reading, so that you guys can, those of you who are rather interested in it, I can explain to you what it is and what it is not, what I look for, what I do not, and how it works. Okay, so hey, knock that off. Oh, we have been kicking around names for the cat. We finally picked a name. Her name is Luna. Because she's a lunatic. Really, she is. Her name is Luna. So come here, Luna. Come here. Because we've been calling her Cat for the past month. We didn't have no name for her. All right, let's get into the reading. Two of Swords, Six of Wands. That card popped out while I was speaking to you guys and shuffling. There's a Ten of Swords. Wow, well, that's an interesting combination. Huh. King of Wands. The Justice card. Well, look at that. The Nine of Cups. Isn't that interesting? The Three of Coins. Well, here's the Devil. Justice with the Devil. Karma. And then the Ace of Pentacles. Well, that's an interesting. And there is a King of Cups. Okay. Wow. Isn't that something? Let me take a look and see what I have here. This is the most bizarre energy. But then this is a full moon. So, you know, what are you going to do? All right. The way the cards are read is past, present, future, past, present, and future. Let me show you the cards. Two of Swords. Six of Wands. Ten of Swords. King of Wands. The Justice card right in the center. Here is the Nine of Cups. That's a lovely card. Three of Coins. The Devil. And the Ace of Pentacles. Okay? This is so... Hey! Get down from there! She's so funny. All right. So, what do we know about justice? Well, justice is slow. Justice can be stern. Justice is supposed to be objective. And justice is supposed to be fair. Justice represents balancing or equaling out, all things being equal. It is about decisions. It is about fairness. The ruler of Libra, which is what justice represents, is Venus. Venus co-rules two signs. She rules both Taurus and Venus. Libra. We know that justice can sometimes seem unfair. But again, all things being equal, sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Justice sitting with the devil is quite interesting to me, because right down the center I have this Six of Wands. The sentence is, there's some kind of victory that has occurred. There's some type of achievement that has occurred. The Justice card says, in a sense, that was the time for it to do so, okay? And that however that victory or that achievement was had or made or brought itself, was resolved, that it was in effect the right time, okay? This may be that some of you, now that you have this victory or this achievement, I would say in one respect with the devil, this tells me that it is rooted and it is seated, that it cannot be reversed. It will not be taken away from you. Why? The devil represents the material plane. He represents the earthly plane. He is also an earth energy. He represents Saturn, and Saturn is the father of time, the lord of karma. So for some of you, this may have been something that has been a long time in coming. For others of you playing out, this is something that will be occurring for you. As I said, the wheels of justice can sometimes grind slowly. This is both on the material plane and the spiritual plane. It is divine timing. For some of you, I think there's I'm not getting anything ugly off of this devil card, but I do feel that for some of you, it is vestiges of something that was quite negative for you, okay? It still sits at the base. So I would say, I'm going to pull cards on this devil. I would venture to say that this is really perhaps an overcoming of something, but you're still struggling in some sense with that. This is a Saturn card, okay? He rules Capricorn. And what's interesting is I have Mars in Capricorn here. This Three of Coins represents Mars in Capricorn. And this is the time frame of December 31st through January, I want to say 10th or 11th. It's usually a 2-week time frame that each pip card represents. I only have these two major arcana cards here. So this tells me that right now, for some of you, this is where you are presently. I'm still a little not sure what the Justice with the devil is trying to tell me. You know, this could be about finally making a decision about what you're going to do on the earthly plane, about something, whether this is a relationship, because I'm seeing these 2 threes. It's kind of like the theme of 3 here. Okay. This could be about a relationship. In one respect, it could be the realization that whatever this relationship is all about, maybe this is about a choice that you had to make. Maybe you have made that choice, and now that choice is cemented. You know exactly who you want to be with, or where you want to go, or how you want to build this thing. Because what we see is this. This is the building up of something, but it's on the earthly plane. And threes traditionally can be can represent that they're a third party in the situation, but the threes really mean the start of something. 2 things coming together, okay, that are greater than the sum of themselves. 2 people coming together to build something. And I would venture to say, we have the Capricorn, we have 2 references of Capricorn here. And I would venture to say that whatever this thing is that you're trying to build, it's going to stand the test of time. This is what the devil is all about. He's about building something on the earthly plane. Now, the danger with the devil is ending up becoming a slave to it, okay? Being captured by it. So that is what it is. And perhaps this is why Justice has come out to say that, you know, we're going to have to find some kind of balance. Now, at the top, this top row is quite perplexing in the sense that, well, we can see that there was a decision that needed to be made, but someone feeling as though they they didn't have enough information to make that decision. They're not sure if the choice they're trying to make, if they're being fooled, if they're fooling themselves, if someone else is pulling the wool over their eyes. They're not exactly sure. So to me, this speaks to inertia. The person is sitting still. They're not saying anything. They're not doing anything. They're not making a move. This is a moment of stillness. There's a lot of emotion going on behind this, even though this is an air card. And the reason why I say that is all of that water that's behind, that's really ripply. That's not a placid lake. That's a water that's got a lot of maybe wind blowing across it. Maybe there's a bunch of fish underneath. Maybe it's a spring. I don't know. This is our past row here. This represents the moon in Leo. So we have a lot of references to Leo here. This is Jupiter in Leo, okay? And I have Jupiter in Leo, I believe. No, I have Jupiter in Gemini. Here we have a fire king, which would represent an Aries, a Sagittarius, or a Leo. We also have Jupiter here. This is Jupiter in Pisces, okay? And that is a karmic placement that, if you know how to handle that energy, can bring you great benefit. Can sometimes be a difficult placement. And maybe this is what the cards are trying to tell me, is that Jupiter in Pisces can be that kind of energy where you give and give and give and give, and people take advantage of you, okay? But yet you still give with a glad heart. And maybe what this Mars and Capricorn, and Mars is about aggression. No matter how you read it, Mars is always about aggression. He's about energy, anger. He speaks to passion, war, strife. And I think this is perhaps an issue where somebody's trying to decide whether they want to wade back into, I'm not sure if it's the same situation or a different situation. I would say it's a new situation. Here's this. And they're trying to decide whether or not, it's like, I'm not sure if this is really what be careful what you wish for kind of a thing. Okay. And the person cannot make the decision. They've been struggling with deciding whether or not this is really something that's going to be good for them. They have the heart to, and it's something that they've been wishing for a very, very long time. Okay. But there's some indecision about it. Now, this 10 of Swords, looking across the top row with the 2 of Swords, this is like maybe the person came to a determination. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make a decision. But in the end, that decision was not the wisest or the best decision. This card represents Sun in Gemini, and Sun in Gemini can be making a decision without having all of the facts, or saying something that you maybe in the heat of the moment. We do have this Leo card here, saying something without having all of the information. Okay, and what it did was it caused, really, it put you at rock bottom. Okay. But this is the darkest before the dawn. And a lot of times I read this 10 of Swords like this has been really a miscommunication. It's been a lack of empathy, perhaps a lack of understanding, because that's really what the swords are about. They're about communication, perceptions, beliefs, and ideas. And this could also be an indication that someone was really made a decision that they find out really wasn't in their best interest. And now they're at rock bottom. Okay. And rock bottom simply means that they know that whatever the decision is that they made, which was never in their best interest to begin with, they've got to figure out how to pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and get back on. And I think this is what this King of Wands is trying to tell me, that the person really has a new fire. They've got a new presentation. They've got a new outlook. You can see that he's looking towards the past, okay? But he's backed up by Justice and the 9 of Cups. And I do feel in one regard that this is really based upon past experiences. That's the karma, okay? Past experiences. So we're being asked to look at where we have come from, Why have we been mistrustful? We're to the point where we don't even trust our own intuition. Why have we charged ahead? See, when you get to the 6, that's an implication that you've gotten over some kind of conflict. Maybe this, and the 5s represent outside conflict, things that are beyond your control. Okay. And this says that okay, well, I made a move even though I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Why? I had to do something. But now we realize that what we've done doesn't serve our best interest. That's what lessons are about. Okay. So it's not that it's a failure. It's simply a learning experience. Okay. Well, I tried that now. I see where that got me. I know that doesn't work. So now I need to do something else. And I think here with the King of Wands and the Justice card, it is really somebody mustering their courage, mustering their energy. They're mastering, I would say, in one respect, it would be something to do with their ambition, their drive, desire, so that they can reach this level of emotional contentment here. But it is something I think they've been wishing for a very, very long time. I do say that whatever this thing is, it's here to stay. It's a lasting influence, okay? Now, what it's done is it's offering you the opportunity to do things in a whole new way. So for some of you, you see, we had to have some kind of loss or reset in the way that we think. Otherwise, we're not going to know exactly whatever this 10 of Swords represents. This is what brought us to the realization of our 9 of Cups. So maybe we had to lose someone or lose some things in order to really gain an understanding of what it is really that is our heart's desire and what the universe wants to bring to us that is in our best interest. Okay. For some of you, this may involve this King of Cups, who would be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. If it's not that, if he's not that, then maybe he is or her a King of Wands. So this is same-sex or heterosexual, whomever is going to take the role of the male in the relationship. You can see here that Justice comes back to right this 10 of Swords. It's like you're getting another opportunity to build something. Why? Because this is really what you've been, and maybe this card is about the denial of what you really wanted. Okay? And maybe this is what that Devil is, and that we're still struggling with the denial of something. So I would say with the Ace of Pentacles that in time, you're going to come to see how this is really a gift. And it's going to be up to you to either seize that opportunity or to let it pass you by. It is associated with a wish. And it is the universe trying to bring in something really, really wonderful for you. Something that you've really had your heart set on. Perhaps longer than even you recognize yourself. Okay? Sometimes we have to make decisions that blindly. And again, like I said, it's not a failure. It's just, you know, Leo can be all about, Leo's a leader. And Leo doesn't like to be seen as weak. They don't like to be lied to. They're very generous, very outgoing, gregarious. They want to be viewed as the person in charge. And so this could have been a situation where the person felt like they weren't in charge of a situation. They've been struggling with that. So they said, well, you know what? I'm going to show you exactly who I am and what it is I'm going to do. But in a sense, it kind of like it was an empty victory, so to speak. Okay. Let's take a look at what this... let's start at the top. I'm going to look at 3 cards. I'm going to look at the 2 of Swords, the 10 of Swords, and then the Devil. I'm really not getting any ugly energy off of this. This could be, for some people, just a struggle to accept what the universe is trying to bring, because it's going to mean a change. Okay? You see, no matter how you look at it, if I look at the Two of Swords to the Nine of Cups, we start out with this Three of Coins. And maybe all this Devil card is saying is that there's still going to be some challenges and it's still going to take some time to build this. Because if I put these 3 coins with this one, that's a Four of Coins, and that's all about stability. But you're going to have to reach out and grab that opportunity. And I would dare say, perhaps in one respect, that opportunity has been there all along. It's just been creating a lot of fear and anxiety. Okay? Sometimes that's what Saturn always operates from a baseline of fear. It creates worry, it creates doubt, it creates fear, control and power issues. If I do this, I'm going to have to give up that, or I want to have the upper hand. So, but that's because it's based out of fear. Okay? So I think it's been there for a long, long time, and maybe someone is still struggling with the realization, because what is justice but the truth? These are 2 markedly different energies here. This is an interesting spread. So let's take a look at this Two of Swords. And, you know, it may not have been a choice between 2 people. Maybe it's a choice of 2, you know, 2 options. What do I do with my life? My life, I need something to change in my life because what's happening is not working for me. So you're presented with an opportunity, something that really, really, this I think is the realization of what does it take, something I've been wishing for. Now it's finally here, okay? And I don't know if I should take it or not, all right? Isn't that something? The 3 cards on the Two of Swords. The prigione, someone who's been limited and constrained. They haven't been able to see their way clear. Okay? They haven't been able to move. That's that Devil card. The Devil card, we can be our own worst enemy in this. This can either be, you know, someone has come in to help, but you don't see it as such. It could also be the realization, I know I need some help and assistance, but I don't see that. I don't trust it. It was brought to you by the Wheel of Fortune, no matter how you view it. Okay? This is the Wheel of Fortune. Sometimes in Italian, she's known as the Tempest card. Remember I was talking to you about the water? This could be an unexpected airing out of things. Someone coming in who breathes a new life or breath into your life, okay? But you don't trust it because it upset the balance of everything. Why? Because either you could not move or you were not ready to move. But it was definitely something, and the person is still not exactly sure. Up here, it looks like this will be worked out one way or the other. In order for me to know anything about your specific situation, if this is ringing true, will require a personal reading. Let's look at this Ten of Swords. This could simply be somebody being blind to the fact that fortune and karma has sent them some kind of help that they've been looking for and they've perhaps been praying for and waiting for and wishing for. But then when it arrives, they don't know what to do with it. And sometimes this can be the person who's been alone and who's been struggling a lot by themselves and maybe have been burned a lot in the past. Okay, that when someone approaches or someone comes who truly is sort of like a gift from heaven, they don't trust it. You know that too good to be true? How strange. We have a lover, l'amante, female. And we have the casa, the house. And we have the letterato. This, to me, the person, either some kind of miscommunication about this, or some negative thinking about this. Maybe sharp words spoken, but this really reads like, you know, that person came in and they really were brought in to you, because this is another karma card here. Because you have that credit coming to you. It is somebody perhaps from a past life that has come back to pay you back and to help you move through whatever you're struggling with. But you see, now somebody's thinking of how that went wrong. Okay? Because right in between these two cards is this Six of Wands. And I want you to pay attention to the Six of Wands, because there are people on the other side of that horse. Horses represent movement. They represent finances. They represent strength. They represent psychic abilities. In order for you to step into your leadership role, you need somebody to support you. You cannot do it alone. Okay? You've been trying to do it alone, but it hasn't worked for you. That's why we run into this Ten of Swords here. So, at present, we have the Devil at the base of this. The cards are so funny sometimes. I also feel, in one respect, this is some kind of nodal, maybe touch. Here's the Jupiter in Libra energy. Well, we know that the North and South node have been moving. I don't see any Aquarian energy here, so I don't know. Now, very interesting. There may be a third party here. And the reason why I say that is we have the Lecherezza. Now, the Lecherezza is translated or interpreted as diplomacy, tact, lightness, but it can also be irritability. Okay. Someone's, I don't know what their sensitivity is, but it also represents sex. Okay. And what is the devil if he is not fun? Okay. Well, we see that someone's not being satisfied on any level with whatever's happening here. And I think they may be struggling with that. Maybe this is about their desires, what they truly want. Maybe this is what I'm picking up with the third card is that they've been engaging, but it's not the same. That's the consolation. That's the consolation. The temptation. Well, that shit didn't work out, so I'm gonna go over here and get somebody else. Yeah, it's doing the job, but it's a consolation. There's something missing from that, and I would think it would be the connection here. I think that they've already met the person that they know they should be with, but they're doing something else instead. Well, I think the opportunity is coming up to perhaps rectify that. I would suggest that not to wait too long, quote unquote. That's an opportunity. Sometimes opportunities only come around once, okay? In a lifetime. So, that's quite interesting. I don't know if there will be any communication or not. It's that devil energy can be that stuck, rigid energies where it's not quite, it's ready to go, but not quite ready. Maybe it needs a little bit more work. I do feel that with the ace, that it just definitely says there's a change coming about, okay? Most definitely there's a change. Now, let's pull an angel answer card. That was quite interesting. If this spread did not answer your questions, then perhaps the angel answer card will. So formulate your question in your mind, and I will pull one angel answer card. Perhaps this will give you some advice, some comfort and solace. Two cards want to come out. And that's interesting. It says, you're ready for romance. Well, isn't that something? You are ready. Let's see what the, oh, two cards fell out here. Oh my God, the cards. They're so lovely sometimes. Choose your battles. Okay. Now that's a very loaded card. The Six of Cups. Simply love. So it's a Seven of Wands. And the Seven says that there's an internal struggle going on about this Six of Cups. So let's go to the books. Holy moly. Where is my other book? Oh, there it is. Let's start off with the You're Ready. It says, and that's the last one in the deck, believe it or not. You're ready. All your past experiences have led to this moment. You've studied and grown spiritually in many ways. There's nothing more to do. You're ready to move forward and to embrace the person you know in your heart you are meant to be. The world is anxiously awaiting the contributions that following your life purpose will provide. And maybe that's what that Justice card with that King of Wands and Nine of Cups means. You may have to put yourself first in this situation. It's time to do what is right for you. That's that Leo energy that I was talking to you about. They like to be, and they need support, you know, they need support. So that's how you become an effective leader. You can't get anything done without the right people behind you. Romance. A very important relationship is about to enter or has recently entered your life. This is the romance you have been waiting for. Like all partnerships, there may be ups and downs, but don't let that deter you or shake your confidence. Have faith that love is coming into your life to stay. If your question was about a current relationship, you can expect the parties to become closer to one another. Past disagreements will fade away and trust will grow. All relationships have peaks and valleys. This card indicates an upward movement to a new level of dedication and intimacy. This can include engagement, marriage, or a form of recommitment to one another. Wow, ain't that something? Let's look at this choose your battles. The keywords are conviction, resistance, defense, and evaluate. And I feel that that is what is been happening or is going on. As much as you'd like all of your relationships to be harmonious, this is not always the case. Beliefs and opinions clash, and each person struggles to validate his or her position. Sometimes it's important to take a stand and assert your convictions. However, this attitude may be misread as aggression, and the other person may push back. You then feel the need to justify yourself. It becomes a cycle of confronting and defending, which can be exhausting and damaging to the relationship. Are you currently engaged in conflict with others or even with yourself? If so, It's time to evaluate your situation. If you believe strongly in your position and know that the outcome will serve everyone's highest good, stand your ground. If being the victor is truly not worth the discord, consider letting it go. Don't allow the desire to win prolong a battle that is unnecessary. And I think that's what that Six of Wands with the Ten of Swords is all about. Now let's go to the Six of... For some people, they may have made the correct decision. For others, perhaps they realize now that they have made a miscalculation in judgment. And that crap happens. Now, here's the Six of Cups. And in some circles, this is known as the soulmate card. So again, there's a karmic aspect to this. Oh, the key words are innocence, nostalgia, kindness, and children. People often fondly remember the innocence of youth as a time when life seemed simpler. This card is a call to action to bring that innocence and energy into the present and into your relationships. As much as you can, interact with others from a pure and open heart, full of love and free of ulterior motives. Do this and you'll find that your relationships will deepen and require far less effort. When you reminisce about your past, bring back only the happy memories and cherish them. Kindness and generosity are at the forefront when this card appears. Look for ways to help family and friends, especially children. Reach out to them and assist them in any way you can. Sometimes just a bit of attention is all that someone needs. Where kindness prevails, relationships flourish. And this says, now I don't know about some of you, but I'm going to read it anyway. And if you're hoping to become pregnant or adopt a child, this card is a positive sign. I think there are going to be many, many changes coming up in people's relationships as we move through this Jupiter direct cycle. And that's what Jupiter in Libra does. He brings you solutions. He gives you the opportunity to heal relationship issues, not just so much, in the relationship that you are now, but this is an opportunity to heal anything from the past that no longer serves you, dragging it into the future. That is what I have for you. If you're interested in a personal reading, you can click on the information up in the tab there. It'll take you directly over to the website. Thanks for allowing me to read for you, and I hope these messages help. Until next time, namaste.